Hey, how are you all? How are you doing? It always says it always says like my connection is paused, and I do live like where I live in the Hollywood Hills. It's like, I don't know, I'm not like way up there. Like there was like an Airbnb when I was like trying to find this perfect place, or when I was on my pursuit to find the place that I live now. It was this gorgeous Airbnb, and like literally they had like this guest house, and the guest house, I mean, it was like epic. I wish they were like renting that guest house. I totally would have lived there, but you had like no service, zero service. So you basically only, like if you wanted to make a call that wasn't on an iPhone, you had to like literally walk down to the street to get it, because it was like so secluded and it was so serene. It was so peaceful. I loved it. And so anyway, where I live now, it's not quite as like secluded like that. Like it's closer to a main road, but it's still like really quiet. Like every morning you hear the birds, and it's so amazing. So anyway, I got up at about 4 a.m. this morning. I don't know, you guys, it's really interesting. I feel like, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when you just like have so many things occurring inside of you, and I feel like a lot of us do, it was just the new moon. I'm going through my Saturn return, and I just have like all these ideas, and it's like this new identity is birthing of like who I want to become, or who I really am, or like who I always was. So anyway, I got up and I was journaling. This is my journal right now. I can't believe it, you guys. I'm almost done with this journal. Like it's pretty crazy. It will be less than a month that that journal was done. It's kind of insane to me. I've never had a journal where it's been less than a month. Obviously it shows that I have a lot coming up, or a lot that I need to share. And I had this thought that I wanted to share with each of us. Hey, the thought that I wanted to share was that I feel like so often in life, we're like so busy running around, like we're like doing this or rushing here, or like, I don't know, rushing to get this money, or rushing to get this success, or rushing to get this achievement, right? Like, even I think of like my PhD classes, right? Like sometimes I can be like rushing to get an assignment done just so I get it done, and so that I get a 4.0 in that class, and then I'll get my doctorate. Like we're so like rush here, rush there, rush here, do this, like call this phone, oh shit, there's a problem, react, respond, oh shit, this isn't going as planned, like fuck, or whatever. And we do this in relationships too. Like we're always in this kind of like reactive state instead of responsive state. And so when I got this morning at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I was like writing, and there was all of these thoughts, I was like, okay, am I going to choose to react to these thoughts? Am I going to choose to allow these thoughts to like dictate my emotions or dictate my actions, or am I going to stay centered and focused? So for an example, there was a phone call I really needed to make this morning. I shouldn't say I really needed to make. I was being impatient. Anyone who knows me, patience is not my, okay, if it comes to clients, if it comes to children, if it comes to animals, I am very patient. If it comes to like my business and the results that I want and myself, I am not patient. So, which is kind of ironic. So there was this thing, and it said like, you'll get this within 24 hours, and right, it's like the last hour, and I still haven't gotten it, but technically this person still has an hour, this company. So I'm like flipping out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking respond, like come on, hurry up, we have an hour left, like why is this taking so long? Because I'm someone who like would never wait to the last hour, right? It's just not how I do things. Like I wouldn't wait to the last hour to do something. I wouldn't wait to the last minute to like, I don't know, I just don't do that. I don't, like, unless it's like my PhD class, something I don't care about, but like something that I care about, I never wait to the last minute. And if it's especially something someone's relying on me for, I don't wait to the last hour. So anyway, I put an alarm on my phone for 30 minutes. And I was like, I'm just going to journal. No matter what, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad the anxiety, the emotional turmoil that's coming out of me gets, I'm just going to sit here and journal. And this is where the thought came to me of how often so many of us do this, where we have so much emotional, I don't want to say turbulence, but it's like so much, it's such a strong, deep emotional reaction that's occurring inside of us, where we want to like, I don't want to say lash out, but like lash out or freak out. And how often, if we just navigated that into something like journaling, into something like meditating, into something like working out or going on a walk, like how much we could enhance our life. Instead of creating drama, we would recreate responses. Instead of creating reactivity, we would recreate a crafted response. Instead of thinking like stress, is this going to happen? Is this person going to respond? We would go, I fully trust this is going to get taken care of right when it needs to. Going to get taken care of right on time. Like if we had these different mindsets, these different ways, like how different our life could be. And so anyway, I know that I just implemented that this morning in my life, and I've done this many times. It's a practice that I have, where I feel a strong emotional, I don't know, I just feel like very deeply, I feel like a very big emotional reaction coming, or a deep, not even reaction, a deep emotional sensation that's like brewing through me. And sometimes that can even be like a really ecstatic sensation. Like it could be pleasure, it could be intimacy, it could be anxiety, it could be like the achievement to get to the next level, like being there for my clients to get results, like all these really intense emotions, right, that can start within us. And we have to, you want to become the observer, where you're observing when this happens, and then instead of reacting to it or letting it take over you, you consciously, with a conscious effort, re-navigate that to put it into something that will give you like response, instead of freaking out on someone or like, oh my God, it's the last hour, why haven't they responded? And so be like, what, it'll get done when it gets done. And it takes practice, right? This isn't something that happens overnight, but I can tell you what it does for your life. It makes you feel more whole. It makes you feel more peaceful. It makes you feel more happy. And this also works in relationships. Like, I've definitely been the person that's called someone like 5 times in a row or 6 times or whatever that it is, because I really felt like I needed a response, or I needed some emotional, some emotional connection from that person. Like I felt like I really needed it, like craved it, almost like a drug addict in a way. And when you're in it, you can't always see it. And I realized it the other day of like making sure that like you're a receptive being, even when you're doing those 6 phone calls or your 7 phone calls, like even making sure like, is that really you? Or is that person wanting to make you become crazy? Is that person wanting to feel that desired from you? Or they wanting to feel whatever? And then you're reacting that way as a receptive being for them to have a narrative to share whatever about you. So you just want to like, I guess my point of this when I was sipping my coffee and I was coming on is that you are the only one who can be the creator of your reality. You are the only one who can like really like change your life, right? You're the only one who, instead of being dramatic, right, can be calm. Instead of being aggressive and like fighting with someone, like you can just, say, I see this, I observe this, and like bless your path and walk away. And there doesn't need to be a conversation. You're the only one who can put your power back and go, you know what, instead of trying to include someone that is causing me emotional disruption in a conversation or in a dialogue, why don't I just give it to myself? And that's the power of journaling and meditating and praying and all the things that I teach, or listening to people like myself who motivate, empower, who give you this. Like, I listened to 4 podcasts when it's 4 a.m. I had a lot of information I was intaking and inputting. And so I just want you to know, wherever you are, learn how to respond, not react. And it's not easy, and you're doing a good job, even if you just do it once a day, where instead of reacting and putting yourself in this like jerk reaction, or allowing someone else to have a story of you, of how you reacted crazy or how you whatever, allowing yourself breathe and just come back to a centered place. And sometimes it might just be like excusing yourself from the room, walking away with nothing, like no commentary. And sometimes silence is golden. They say that in movies, right? So I hope this served you guys. I'd love to know if you guys want to share with me in my DMs, like ways that, what you're struggling with reactivity and reaction instead of being responsive. And if there's anything I can do to help or support you. And I highly recommend, if you like this, and you want to go deeper on it, and you want to go deeper on this mindset, and you want to go deeper where you don't feel like you're this crazy person all the time that's like being overly dramatic and overly whatever, I highly recommend my Shift to the Limitless audio. It's a $1 audio that's on my website, colleengallagher.co. It's a great starting point where I share with you 3 steps how to shift into a limitless state of being, and I have a meditation at the end. Even if you've never meditated, it's perfect. All you have to do is just sit there and breathe and absorb. So I love you. I hope this served, and talk with you soon.